To order on this day, Monday, September 26, 2016. If Clerk Kornecki could please call the roll for us tonight.
Trustee Aiello. Trustee Bolfus.
Here.
Trustee Kazone.
Here.
Trustee Case.
Here.
Trustee Taglia.
Here.
Trustee Wagner.
Here.
President Bullwinkle.
Here. All please rise for the pledge. I will lead us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If we could remain standing for just one more second, I'm going to ask Trustee Taglia to lead us in the prayer.
Certainly.
Thank you.
Our Heavenly Father, will thou be pleased to grant that this meeting, thus begun in order, be conducted in peace and closed in harmony. Amen.
Amen. Okay. Those of us with us tonight, if you haven't already grabbed an agenda, we have an agenda in the rack that's hanging on the door right outside of the chamber. So go help yourself so you can follow along with us tonight. Item number 3 on the Committee of the Whole is amendments to the agenda. Does anybody have any amendments to the Committee of the Whole agenda? Ford? Okay. Move on then to item number 4 then on the Committee of the Whole. Consider an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, accepting a plat of easement grant for water main, sanitary sewer, and stormwater management area maintenance purposes at 198 West North Avenue, Aetna Development Corporation. Manager Keener?
Thank you, Your Honor. A new commercial building is currently under construction at 198 West North Avenue. Certain water mains, sanitary sewers, and stormwater improvements are being constructed as part of the development. DuPage County Stormwater Ordinance requires all major and minor stormwater systems to be located within easements. The village also needs the ability to legally access sanitary sewers and water mains on the property. An acceptance of the easements by the village would be needed before it can be recorded. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, any questions and comments from the public in regards to this item? Okay, seeing none. Any questions or comments from the board? We good? No question? Okay, we're going to do a roll call vote then.
Trustee Bolfus.
Yes.
Trustee Case.
Yes.
Trustee Kazone.
Yes.
Trustee Wagner.
Yes.
Trustee Taglia.
Yes.
President Bullwinkle.
Yes. Okay, item number 5 on the Committee of the Whole. Consider resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving a license agreement for a portion of the public right-of-way between the Village of Villa Park and the owner of 905 South Harvard Avenue in Villa Park, Illinois. Manager Keener?
Thank you, Your Honor. The property owner at 905 South Harvard Avenue wishes to install a privacy fence to close off the entire portion of the alley adjacent to their property. A license agreement would be needed to grant the property owner permission for the proposed construction and maintenance of the fence. The license agreement would be revocable in the event the village needs the right-of-way for public purpose. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Any questions or comments from the public in regards to this item? Okay, seeing none. Any questions and comments from the board? Sure. Trustee Bolfus.
A lot of times when we do this, we split the public right-of-way between the two homeowners, one on each side of the right-of-way. And looking at the plat that they provided us, they're going to get the whole access to the whole section behind their house. Not the people behind them won't get a part of it. Is there any special reason why we're doing it that way, or do the neighbors object to not getting a part of the right-of-way for their access and their use?
Thank you, Your Honor, and I believe Director Giskelis has an answer to that question.
That's what the request was from the resident. They wanted to fence off the whole alleyway, and mainly because that's what their neighbors have done under a previous license agreement next door to them. So they just wanted to mimic what was done next door.
So there was no objections from any of the, were the neighbors behind them aware?
Well, actually, we approached everybody to see if they wanted to do an alley vacation first, and there was no interest to vacate the alley.
Okay. There's no objection from anybody who lives there, so.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Do we have anybody in the audience from this related to this item? Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No.
We need you to come to the podium if you'd like to.
Just, I guess that that alley has been, it's, just grassed area, and it's been part of the yard. There's landscaping and everything since the house was built in 1950. So, and the other people in the property behind us, they would have to, like their property is like 3 houses.
What's their side?
Yeah, they're on a side lot, so they would have to take, 3 peoples if they wanted to do that. So.
Do they know that you requested this?
Yeah, well, I actually asked all the neighbors if they wanted, when the city was considering vacating the alley, if they wanted their portion, and they said no. They were like, no, we don't want to take, that's been part of your yard for 50 years. We don't want to take it from you guys, so you can have it. We're good with what we have. So,
Okay.
And no one wanted to take the land if they did
I
vacate.
was just concerned, I don't want somebody coming in here a month or 2 later saying,
Yeah.
no, wait a minute, I didn't know anything about this,
Yeah.
And then we look bad.
Yeah.
We don't want that to happen.
We just need you to state your name for the record, and if you could sign the piece of paper there.
My name's John Ogrodnik.
Yes, we just
Thank
need you
you.
to sign. Yes, there should be a pen there. You could, great. Is there any other comments from the board in the meantime? Are we good? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yes.
President Bullwinkle?
Yes. Okay, item number 6 on the committee of the whole. Consider resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, authorizing Halloween trick-or-treat hours of 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Monday, October 31st, 2016. Andrew Keener?
Thank you, Your Honor. The village has historically passed by resolution a time and date for children to participate in Halloween trick-or-treating. Halloween can be a potentially problematic time for the community. By adopting this resolution, a uniform time is recommended for the event, thereby allowing the police department to increase patrol for the purpose of protecting the children who are participating in the Halloween festivities, as well as to protect the community from vandalism that can be associated with the Halloween holiday. It is recommended that the village board approve the official trick-or-treat hours of 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Monday, October 31st, 2016. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Any questions, comments from the public in regards to this item? Okay, seeing none. Any questions or comments from the board? A few years ago, we changed the time from 8 o'clock to 7 o'clock because the residents didn't like the fact that we went so late. So we were sticking with the 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. time frame. So, okay. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
President Bullwinkle?
Yes. Okay, and then now we are convening to the formal agenda. Okay. Item number 1 on the formal agenda is the village president's report. Just, I always ask for staff updates in regards to all that's going on in the village, Villa Park. So we have Vitas Piscalis, our Director of Public Works, coming forward to give us some updates on what's going on and where we're at on projects.
Thank you. Let's start with the road projects. North Princeton project, they did complete the paving and the parkway restoration, so all that's left there to do is the punch list. On the 2016 street improvements, as you can see out front here, the paving is completed and they are prepping for the sod. They actually put the black dirt down this afternoon. Sod work is also scheduled for completion on Orchard Hill Court, Harrison and Leslie this week. So a lot of parkway restoration going on this week. Monroe is the last street being done in the 2016 project. Majority of the curb work on the north side is complete, with remaining concrete work on the north side expected the rest of the week. And then the grinding of Summit began today and should be completed this week. So Summit will be the last portion to be paved. North side sidewalk, they have the east side of Yale completed, and excavation has begun on the south side of Belden. Some design updates, water main redesign on Michigan is underway from Park to Madison, so we can get that project out to bid. North Avenue flood study, field work is underway this week. Backing up to Ardmore Streetscape, IDOT was out to do a plant assessment last week, so they identified everything that needs to be replaced under warranty by the contractor. Washington Green Infrastructure Project, we did receive an initial set of plans. Staff has marked them up and returned them, so we're almost at 50% design on that one. Same thing with the Washington Combined Sewer Separation Project. We expect to have the 60% draft plans in our hands in the next few weeks for our review.
Okay, Great, thank you. Thanks for that comprehensive update. Appreciate that very much. And then also, I just wanted to throw out a reminder that we have Coffee with the Board coming up on Saturday, October 1st, here at Village Hall, 9 o'clock. It's always the first Saturday of every month unless it coincides with a holiday weekend. So in the case of 4th of July and Labor Day weekends, we canceled. But I think we're good for the rest of the year in regards to dodging the holidays. So hope to see you on Saturday, October 1st, 9 o'clock here at Village Hall. With that, I'm going to move on then to item number 2 on the formal, public comments on agenda items. This is in regards to items 4, 5, and 6 on the formal. If anybody has anything on their mind in regards to items 4, 5, and 6 on the formal, now's the time to come up and speak. And non-agenda items is item number 7 on the agenda. So anything regarding 4, 5, and 6? Now's your chance. So, see, we have a few people in the audience. Anything particular in regards to 4, 5, and 6? Which is the consent agenda. And then we've got final reading of an ordinance, combined sewer separation charges and stormwater, and then a final reading for the setback on 130 East Jackson Boulevard there. So, okay, we're going to move on then to item number 3 on the formal. Amendments of the formal agenda. Does anybody on the board have any amendments to the formal? I have one change. The manager mentioned to me a little earlier that we do not have any items for discussion in exec session. So exec session then is off the docket. So just be removing that item. What we were going to discuss is not apparently ready. So, okay. And moving on to item number 4. Consent agenda. This is A through F. I'm just going to read the headings just for the record. Bill listing dated September 26, 2016 in the amount of $1,484,113.56. B, minutes from the Village COW meeting for September 12, 2016. C, minutes from the Village Formal Board meeting for September 12, 2016. D, first and final reading of an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, accepting a plat of easement grant for water main, sanitary sewer, and stormwater management area maintenance purposes at 198 West North Avenue, Etna Development Corporation. E, resolution of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, approving a license agreement for a portion of the public right-of-way between the Village of Villa Park and the owner of 905 South Harvard Avenue in Villa Park, Illinois. And F, resolution for the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, authorizing Halloween trick-or-treat hours of 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Monday, October 31st, 2016. Have a motion on the consent agenda?
Madam President,
Trustee Taglia.
I'll move for the consent agenda.
Okay, do we have a second?
Madam President,
Trustee Wagner.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, any additional questions or comments from the board? Pretty quick, okay. Roll call vote, please.
Trustee Bullfuss?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
President Vogel?
Yes. Okay. Item number 5 on the formal. First reading of an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, establishing a stormwater management program in charge and a combined sewer separation charge. There are approximately 25 miles of road projects, 94 road segments, that are funded through referendum-approved bonds. Of these projects, almost 9 miles of streets, 33 road segments, currently include underground water, sanitary, combined sewer separation, and/or drainage improvements that are not currently funded. Staff is proposing a flat fee for combined sewer separation of $3 per month for residential customers with 2 dwelling units or less, and $6 for commercial, industrial, and residential multifamily with more than 2 dwelling units. For stormwater, a $6 per month fee is proposed for residential customers with 2 dwelling units or less, and a $12 per month fee is proposed for commercial, industrial, and residential multifamily with more than 2 dwelling units. Do I have a motion on the final reading, item number 5?
Madam President,
Trustee Kazone.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, do I have a second?
Madam President,
Trustee Taglia.
I'll second.
Okay, any additional questions or comments from the board?
Madam
First-
President?
oh,
For
Trustee
the,
Tag-
Oh, no, go
Yeah,
ahead.
Trustee.
But for the folks at home, I believe you read that as first reading. It is the
Final reading, yes, I'm sorry. Final-
That's
thank
quite
you.
all right. I
Okay,
just
Final
don't
reading.
want to mislead
So,
anybody.
yeah,
afterwards.
yes, thank
We
you.
got it. but-
Yeah, sorry about that, because it does, it says final reading right there with the first reading before. Okay, Trustee Taglia.
I just wanted to mention that I had met with some seniors in town, and there's a concern that some of our seniors who are on fixed incomes might have problems paying this additional fee. And I wondered if the board might agree to have an exemption for seniors over 65 who are living at the poverty line or below. So far, there's potentially 2 people in town that have asked for this, and I wondered if, I don't think it would be that big of an impact, but in the case of seniors who are living in poverty, I wondered if we could make an exception for them on these new fees, if the board would agree to that. That's all I'm asking.
And to tie onto that, we did get an email from another resident that echoed that same concern. So, does anybody want to tie into that? Yes,
Madam President?
Trustee Wagner.
I like Trustee Tagley's idea. I saw the email that we all received, and my apologies to staff. I was going to reach out to the manager and ask what the impact would be on the, what we would collect, how the administrative difficulty of separating out those groups of people. And I realize that answer won't come this evening, but I like Trustee Tagley's idea, but I'd like to know what the impact would be of doing that. Is it only a handful of people? Is it more than that? And I guess the other part of my question is, could we revisit this issue in the future if we thought, if this was something that we could do? I mean, I'm all for helping, especially senior citizens who are fixed incomes. But I'd like to know what the impact would be and how difficult it would be for staff to do that.
Would you like to address that?
Sure.
I gave the manager a heads up that this might come up, so.
But I apologize to everybody, I did not receive the email. But for over 65 poverty level, some sort of discount, a number of things come to mind is who would review the documents showing that the individual or the household would be at the poverty level. So would that be the finance department? Would that be myself? Not sure of the impact because we don't have financial records of the households. So we really have no idea how many folks that are in the area could be affected by being over 65 and at the poverty level. But certainly we could take a look at the water usage and kind of get an idea that maybe some of the older folks use less water, could be, less than 1,000 gallons a month, something of that nature, and bring that information back to you, how many low users we have. And certainly we can come back and make modifications to this ordinance sometime in the future also, maybe after we do have some idea of how many folks come to finance asking for a discount or a waiver of the fees. Thank you, Ron.
Thank you, that's all I had.
Okay.
Madam President, if I
Anybody-
could
yes,
just one more
Trustee Tagler, sure.
quick comment. Maybe it would make sense to have the village manager review it on a case-by-case basis, and maybe if someone has to prove their case, maybe he could include the finance director and they could check financial records. But I don't imagine it being many people, because I met with a pretty large group of seniors, and there was only one widow in her 80s who was concerned, and everyone else seemed to be okay with it. So I just wondered if we go ahead and support this and pass it, if there are some people who have an issue with it, if they could maybe come to the village manager's office and request some type of discussion or something on the issue. And then maybe later we could do something to help them. That's all. I didn't want to complicate it. I just wanted to bring that forward. And I appreciate the board's consideration, so thank you.
Anybody else? Yes, Trustee.
You know what Bob just said, that's not a bad idea. Let this pass, and then if anybody has a financial difficulty, or as he described, we'll see if we can modify it if it's appropriate. So,
Thanks, Al.
Anybody else? And just time, oh, yes, trustee Case.
It's probably the easiest way is for someone to come in and sit down with the manager, so,
We'll just, yeah.
yeah. I agree.
We'll just need to make sure that we get the word out properly to let people know that this is an option. There's some folks that I've talked to, they say they can show financial hardship, so I'm sure, others that are in the situation, seniors or people who have lost their jobs or have situations, if we can just make sure we get the word out appropriately so they know about it. And we can help spread the word as the board, but we use our channels to get the word out to people so they know this. Does anybody else have any questions? Okay, we'll do a roll call vote on this.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yes.
Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
President Bullwinkle?
Yes. Okay, item number 6 then on the final reading of an ordinance of the Village of Villa Park, DuPage County, Illinois, granting a variation to allow the construction of a covered porch in the required front yard setback at 130 East Jackson Boulevard. Joseph Frary, petitioner. If I got that right. Okay. Consideration of a variance request to add a covered porch on the front of 130 East Jackson Boulevard, approximately 6 feet into the required front yard setback. At the public hearing on September 8, 2016, no one spoke in opposition of the request, and the Planning and Zoning Commission unanimously recommended approval. Do I have a motion on the final reading, item number 6?
Madam President?
Yes,
I
Trustee
move for
Bolfus.
final reading.
Okay, do I have a second? Trustee Case?
Second.
Okay. Any additional questions and comments from the board on this? We do have the petitioner here, so I'm not sure if there's anything else you'd like to add, but I can give you the podium if you want. Good? Okay. It doesn't look like we have any questions. Any additional questions? We're good. Oh,
I'll
Trustee
just
Bolfus?
I attended the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting. What he's requesting basically fits with the character of the street. There's other houses who are already done this, some with permits and some without permits. So,
At least he did it the right way.
it wouldn't stand out. Yeah, he's followed the proper procedures, and Planning and Zoning has absolutely no problem.
Okay, great. Thank you for that clarification. Appreciate that. Okay, with that, we're going to roll call vote.
Okay, Trustee Case?
Yes.
Trustee Kazone?
Yes.
Trustee Wagner?
Yes.
Trustee Taglia?
Yes.
Trustee Bolfus?
Yep.
President Bullwinkle?
Yes. Okay, you're good? Good. Okay, item number 7, public comments on non-agenda items. You want to approach the podium and give you a few minutes to come to the podium. Got a couple people here, so okay, just sign your name, give you a few minutes. You know the drill. Thank you for signing the document. And have you state your name for the record.
I'm Anita LaPianca. I'm from the properties at 909 through 925 West North Avenue. I just came today to make some clarifications about a discussion that was had 2 weeks ago about the special service assessment for the North Avenue properties. Some misrepresentations were made, and I'd like to clarify those misrepresentations. First of all, the board stated that it would be $3 on every 100 of EAV, and made the conclusion that it would come out to be about between $600 and $700 per property of increased tax. That is only discussing principal. That does not include any interest that would be on that $1.6 million that would be borrowed. If you calculate an interest of approximately 5% for simplicity, it would be about another $1 million over 20 years. So that significantly brings up that amount. For most units in the complex, it would be about $1,100 increase in tax every year. For us, it's a little different because contrary to what the board member stated that the EAV value of the units is $21,000, ours are actually $27,500. So ours are about 30% greater than the rest of the complex. So we would take even bigger. So our increased cost of taxes per year per unit would be about $1,600, which comes out to $50,000 a year and over $1 million over 20 years. That's to pay for somebody else's landscaping and for somebody else's driveway and garbage service, which I don't fully understand why the village doesn't provide garbage service to independent owners. They're just like single-family houses, they just have an attached wall. I understand why it's not provided to us. We're a business. You can consider us commercial, and that's fine, because I can do it much more efficiently than the government can, and I don't have a problem with that. But I wanted to clarify those misrepresentations. One being the most important, that our EAV is not 21,000. It's significantly more, and it does have a disproportionate impact on us. And I'd like to point out to the residents of Villa Park, this isn't a joke. Once Villa Park starts doing this at one part of the neighborhood, they can do it to all the rest of the neighborhood. They're just going to learn how to do it and do it all over town for whatever project they want. And my biggest objection to all of this is, it's for the benefit of private owners. This is all private property. None of it is public property. So you're asking one person, us namely, significant portion, to pay for repairs for other owners who have neglected to repair their properties. And I might point out to the rest of Villa Park, 75% of those properties that are owned by the other people are investment properties. They're not people down on their luck living that can't afford it. 75% of the other owners are investors, getting rent, collecting money from their tenants. So you're asking me to pay 40% of the burden of those taxes for other people that are getting income from those properties and not fixing their properties. That's all I have to say this week, but of course it's going to continue
Okay.
through the meetings. Thank you.
Thank you, Anita. Okay, anybody else with the non-agenda items? Okay. Need you to state your name for the record and,
My name is Emmanuel Nahakis, if I can present the
yeah.
little brochure that I
yeah,
have.
yeah, you sent me an email.
Yes, I did.
Yes.
I figured, I sent you an email, and it was,
Oh, and I'll give you 3 minutes, and I just need to make sure you sign the,
absolutely.
yes, 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 yes. Okay.
Let me get my pen out.
Thank you, yeah, yeah. Thank you. All right, I can give you 3 minutes, so.
My name's Emmanuel Nahakis. I'm here to represent Rosie's Cafe and Deli Cafe. We're trying to establish a business next to Jewel where the dry cleaners was. A little background on myself. I was the senior manager, the general manager of the Latin School of Chicago in downtown. It's a private school. The kids pay about $30,000 a year there from JK to 12 to go to school there. I oversaw their food service program there. And we sourced local farmers and local purveyors for meat and everything. Everything was fresh. And I'm trying to bring that same concept here to Villa Park in regards to a cafe and deli concept. Along with that, I need a liquor license. And along with the liquor license, we're incorporating a gaming license. Again, the gaming part of the thing, I've looked at gaming cafes and everybody's got, I had a bad perception of them because there really is no food. But my background is with the Hyatt Corporation for over 30 years in the corporate and catering division of Hyatt. And I would like to change that whole concept of what the gaming thing is. My business doesn't look at the gaming part of it. It's more of the food. I have private roasters. There's a half a dozen private roasters in the city of Chicago that I want to incorporate into this business to bring fresh coffee, not packaged coffee from a big conglomerate or anything. They bring their own private beans, roast them here in the city of Chicago. The farmers are from the local area of Chicagoland area, which will also bring us our produce and our meat to our concept. I come from Bartlett. That's where I live. I see Villa Park as part of the same community that I chose to raise my kids. I want to incorporate myself into this community. I want to be part of your events. You raise, you have your marathons and different events to raise funds. I want to be part of that. That's going to help my business. So if I can please ask for a second chance, that's what I'm here to do tonight. I've hired and spent money already on private architects, interior designers. This is going to be our first establishment opening here, and I want it to be the showcase establishment. I didn't get a chance to verbally communicate this, and I figured it might make a small difference for whatever it's worth. Please consider us to come into the village and be part of the village. I really look forward into working with you.
Okay.
I truly, truly do. And Jewel, on the other hand, is also waiting for my response.
Well,
They're waiting to fill up that space there, and it's the space where the dry cleaners is,
yeah,
or used to be.
yeah. Well, thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. And I've got some responses. I was anticipating somebody coming forward tonight. And, wait. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah. We'll talk afterwards for sure. But, I understand the concerns. And, as a liquor commissioner, I serve a dual purpose, the village president and liquor commissioner. And when I make a decision about a liquor license, I don't take it lightly. And I spent quite a bit of time mulling over your request. And, I've been pretty liberal with issuing liquor licenses over the tenure. I've been up here almost 8 years, almost 4 years as the president and liquor commissioner. But when I feel that there is something that comes forward that may not be in the best interest, the people expect me to hopefully make the right decisions. And in the situation that, with the inquiries in regards to the empty spaces at Jewel, I know there's a couple different spaces that have been open for a while. One was a DuPage Credit Union. I remember that because I was a customer, and I remember the cleaners as well. And, we don't have any additional liquor licenses available for the gaming establishments, and I'm not planning on recommending any because, quite frankly, one of the concerns that I get from the residents, in fact, I was just at another event this weekend, they feel that we have too much gaming in Villa Park, and it's interesting because I don't know if people realize this, but when I was a trustee and the opportunity came up to bring video gaming to Villa Park, I happened to be the deciding vote when I was the trustee. I was the one that voted yes and tipped the scale and actually was the reason why we have gaming in Villa Park. So that was several years ago, when it was new and whatnot. But now as I sit here as the village president, and I see the proliferation of the gaming that's coming to Villa Park, the requests, I get inundated on a very regular basis. I feel like we're reaching a saturation level in Villa Park. And, our bars have the gaming, and that's what, quite frankly, is helping some of our bars stay afloat, is the gaming. So, when I look at where we are at in terms of a saturation level, I feel very protective of the businesses that we have today, the bars and even the gaming establishments that we have. We're about 4.76 mile radius in Villa Park, and we have 55 liquor licenses. So when I say I feel like we're getting to a saturation point, I'm feeling like we're getting close to a saturation point. And I just feel very protective. And in the case of where you would like to locate, near our VFW, one of the concerns that I had was, would that take away from the VFW, and maybe some of our other businesses, because they have food and they have gaming there, but also with traffic flow coming in and out of that parking lot, in and out of off of Ardmore and also off of St. Charles Road. It's pretty nutty from time to time as it is, and I could see that becoming potentially another issue. Then also, when we have the fish fry on Friday night or the weekend of a holiday, the parking lot is packed. So I'm concerned that, with the added saturation, that's just going to increase those potential concerns as well. And I'm being completely honest about where I'm coming from this. And I've shared this with the staff too. They know how I feel about the proliferation of the gaming establishments that want to come into Villa Park. We're one of several municipalities that allow it, but there comes a point where I think we need to kind of take a step back and look at what we have, who we should be protecting, I guess, our existing business base. And then also, we do have people that have come to me that would like to see more sit-down restaurants, the dine-in, sit-down establishments. And, that's where, we have to find that happy medium. We have a hungry town in Villa Park. They love what we have and they want to see more. In fact, I was just at a block party this weekend and several residents mentioned that to me very organically. So it does come up. So I feel like that's something that I feel we should really concentrate on. The other thing too is when we look at the customer base and we talk about the oversaturation, we might have this false sense or expectation that, we build it and they will come. We hope, but there's just so many customers to go around. And, when we see the number of establishments we have in town and they're all trying to make ends meet, they have families, some offer food, some don't. But just in terms of the oversaturation, that's kind of the part where as I sit here and I think about and look at the big picture, balancing that happy medium, to help take care of the businesses that we have and be protective of them and hope that, they continue to thrive, but also open our arms to new businesses, depending on what the bent is. So, I've challenged the staff too to go out and find these businesses. People ask me all the time about the Prairie Path too. Why don't we have restaurants along the Prairie Path? Why don't we have an ice cream shop along the Prairie Path? Why don't we have a coffee shop along the Prairie Path? Great questions. We'd love to see that. And I'm hoping that we're working on that. We've got the Villa Avenue corridor. Thankfully, we have a TIF district attached to that, so that does help with incentives. And hopefully over time, we're going to bring these types of businesses. That's what the residents are telling me. And my job is to kind of look at big picture. To answer your question, I'll sit down with you and take one last look at it. But the gaming is a concern. So I want to talk to you about that because people are really, I get my ears chewed off about that. So I just don't want to take away from existing businesses. And VFW has had, I'm using them as an example because you're going to be really close. They've had a tough time keeping their doors open, so with that, that's pretty much where I'm coming from, and it's with the best intentions. So sometimes it's not easy saying no. Sometimes it is, and sometimes it's not. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm coming from. So, any other people with questions and comments? Yeah. In your wait. When you your board report. Yeah. So want to get that. Hi.
John Dietrich.
Yes.
526 East Park Boulevard. This might have been discussed prior, but could I get a status of what the punch list and the job is completed for the Park Boulevard project?
Oh.
Is it an update or?
Okay. All right. Do we have a staff update by chance on what's happening there? Oh, okay.
I think Director Giskelis can reach out to him.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, all right. Our Public Works Director will reach out to you and give you an update. Okay. All right. Thanks for that. Okay. Any other non-agenda items? So
I'd like a punch list for the Princeton Avenue project.
Okay. But we need your name and just have you sign your name there. You got that? You can just state the name for the record.
Mary Lou Alonso.
Yep. Do you have anything else on your mind?
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed. After 10 months, it's great that our street is done, but I'm very unhappy with the parkway. Our parkway got restored, and about 2 weeks later, it got all dug up again. And the other side of the street got restored again, but we're nothing but a bunch of weeds and dead grass.
Okay, it's on North Princeton. Okay. Staff will get you a little punch list on that too, along with Park Boulevard. Anybody else on public comments on non-agenda items?
Let's see, 122 South Harvard. My question is for the village clerk, Hosanna Kornecki. On the end of August, fourth week of August, the packets for trustee and village president were supposed to be available. Are they available yet?
They were to be available as of September 20.
20.
They are available, yes.
Are available, okay,
Yes.
thank you. And how do I request those?
You walk into the village office, manager's office, and the packets, I will tell you I'm covering that in just a moment, but it's in the manager's office.
Okay, thank you much.
Okay. All right, anybody else for public comments on non-agenda items? Okay. I'm going to move on to item number 8 on the formal village clerk's report.
Okay, and that's what I'm covering right now.
Yeah.
In regards to the consolidated election on April 4th, 2017, the election packets, those that for nominating petitions to be circulated, are in the manager's office. When you go into the office, the secretary is there, Sarah O'Brien. She can just direct you. It's on a little counter there. Sign in, please. I'd like to know who is taking a packet. It's just basically my information that we actually have residents, that we feel are actually may continue on instead of just taking packets nilly-willy. Anyway, the positions that will be open as of to be voted on next April will be the village president, village clerk, 3 trustees, and library trustees. Could be 3 or could be 4 trustees. You need to check with the library on that. The filing period is December 12th to 19th. The week before, I will post the list of the times that I will be definitely in the office for those days. Those people who come in early, the first ones, basically on the 12th, and who wants to stay to the end of the day on the 19th. Wants to be the last on the petition, first petition, and the hours in between. So you'll get more information as we get into the election period. But that is basically it. The packets are available, and I think that's really all. I just want to make sure everyone knows that.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, great. Thank you for that report. Appreciate those updates. Okay, moving on to village trustees report. Going to move on to, I'll start with my right, Trustee Bolthus.
Okay. First off, I just want to mention, is High Ridge Road finished? The reason I'm asking that is the ride on there, I don't know, is it acceptable? It's kind of rough, and it's been repaved. And, I don't think we got what we thought we were going to get.
They're working.
That's a federally funded, state-led job, so the rideability has been reported to IDOT, and they are mulling over what can be done.
Okay.
We have not heard a response yet.
Okay. All right, I don't know how they messed that up, but.
Hopefully we'll be able to do something to fix it. Yeah.
I want to make a comment about Emmanuel's, forget his last name, Nukakis's request. I was contacted by him about a month ago about his request. And I was also contacted by the gentleman who wanted to build a sports bar in the credit union by the Jewel, where the credit union used to be. And I've also been contacted by one other gentleman who wants to open a facility up on Villa and North Avenue by the CarQuest or Napa Auto Parts.
Yeah, we've been swapping some messages. I haven't talked to him yet.
they're all kind of discouraged. Matter of fact, the guy with the sports bar, he's going to look out somewhere else because he needs a liquor license if you have a sports bar. And, you know, I heard you, Madam President, mention that you've talked to the staff about this, but I haven't heard anything as a trustee, except for the gentleman when they contacted me. And a lot of times in the past, we've always talked how we work here as a team. And I think the team sort of got left out. And I think with some of these decisions need to be talked to about with the trustees. And your reply tonight that did bother me was your answers to why you didn't, and they were, I feel we have enough gaming establishments. But it should read, the board feels, in my opinion. And when you mention about you hearing people say about the gaming establishments, I don't hear it. I hear a lot of people say, "You do? Where are they?" You know. I guess we talk to different people. So I haven't heard that complaint. I don't believe there's been any police issues at any of them. I think we had that report when Stella's wanted to open at North Avenue. And I just, you know, I appreciate your comments on why you didn't want to do it. But I think some of these issues, like, we have to make a decision as a board what type of establishments we want to have in town. And, you know, I know it's always, the state law says it's the village president or village manager is the one who gets to issue the license. The village board can only regulate the number of licenses that are available. But even with that, I think that the trustees ought to have some input on what type of places should come into town and which should not. And if a guy wants to come in town and we don't agree with his business, what he wants to do, if he wants to see $250,000, like the guy with the sports bar was going to invest in next to the Jewel, $250,000 to $300,000 to put that place in there. It's not for us as to say you know we don't think you have a good business plan. If he wants to do it, you know, and he meets the qualifications. I've also heard from some other people in town, businesses who are here, but they would like to have a liquor license. Maybe they do a BYOB now, but the word is out on the street, don't even bother because Villa Park isn't giving out liquor licenses. So they're not going to come in and fill out an application, plop down to $500 for the background check. So, and now with this guy with the sports bar going somewhere else, the word travels around. And you know, we have to come up with a better answer than so that's it. Thank you.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. And just in response, you know, as the liquor commissioner, sometimes, you know, faced with some decisions that have to be made fairly quickly. And I get that, you know, we're talking about economic development. Also a form of economic development, as I mentioned earlier, is being protective of the existing businesses that we have here. And I don't know who you're talking to. I know the residents that have shared with me their concerns about the proliferation of the gaming that has come into Villa Park. There's plenty of places to drink and there's plenty of places to gamble. And there comes a time when you have to kind of think about what else do you want to be in Villa Park? What else do you want to provide to the residents of Villa Park? You know, and the residents share with me they want restaurants. So I don't know where the idea that we don't have any liquor licenses, if there are restaurants out there that want to establish, you know, let's talk about it, but not disguised as a gaming, for example.
Well, I understand your fear on the gaming, like you mentioned. You had the tie-breaking vote. You know, you voted for it.
Never thought I'd be in that position
myself. I
myself.
voted no against it. I voted against it. So I have trouble with it myself. But I think, you know, I haven't heard a big outcry from the residents about it.
Well, thank you.
But I think we have to have some type of a guideline from the board on what type of establishments we would consider for increasing the number of liquor licenses for. I was upset when I saw I got the reply that you sent to one of the people when I saw the word "I." Like you mentioned, we're keen here,
Right.
so, thank you.
Well, all right, the liquor commissioner is a liquor commissioner. We might agree to disagree on some of these things, and that's okay, that's part of being a board.
I just
Thank you.
needed an
But thank you,
opportunity
no.
to express it.
But I appreciate that, I really do, truly. Thank you, Trustee Wolfus. Okay, Trustee Taglia, what's on your mind?
Well, I don't have a report, but I'd like
No.
to make a comment.
Okay.
Is that I was against the gambling from the beginning.
Yes, you were.
It's caused us a lot of problems in Villa Park. This is just a continuation of the problems, and I'm happy I voted against it. That's it.
Yeah, I made some folks not so happy when I voted in favor of it, for sure. But thank you. Okay, Trustee Case, what's on your mind?
Two things. I totally disagree with you on the parking. So if you say there's no parking over there, then we might as well just put, don't occupy these stores. Then we might as well close down everything that's going on in Villa, because there is no parking in Villa Park whatsoever. Second of all, I'd like to ask the chief what problems we've had with the gambling in Villa Park.
Come on
Just
up.
to clarify something.
I never
Sorry to bother you,
mentioned,
chief.
well, I never mentioned anything about police problems with the gambling, but since you brought it up, let's see what he has to say.
No, I don't have any statistics here with me. If you ask me what my general impression is, I don't think there's any increase in crime due to that.
No, there's no, I haven't heard.
But that's a statistical analysis to be made, not an opinion.
I can't say I've personally heard any issues from a policing perspective.
Well, we turn in a liquor report every month.
Yep.
Can't have gaming without liquor, so look and see what kind of problems pop up on that liquor report, and are they problems or are they issues? So, like I said, that'd be a statistical analysis.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Trustee Case. You good? Okay. To my left, Trustee Gazone.
I'll make comments since we're talking about that. I too have heard from people that say that that's the only thing that they see coming into Villa Park are bars and gambling places, which I tend to disagree with. I think people see a few of them opening up, but I think over the past couple of years, and I think Director Field can concur with that we've brought in a lot of new businesses that were not liquor related, that they're not gambling related.
Keep it up.
North Avenue is a big point. There's a lot of new businesses that are going in there, and I think that the image of it as being a big problem, I don't think is there. I think that I think the idea of the gambling is going to find its own level. When it gets to the point where it's not going to be profitable, then they're not going to be opening. And I think I think it should be on a case-by-case basis. I don't particularly care for getting too many strictly gambling places, but if a business wants to open up, wants to spend $250,000 in the town and has gambling as a part of it, I don't think that's a problem. And I think the people in Villa Park realize that. People in Villa Park want us to bring in businesses. Jan would love to have restaurants in this town, but I don't know if there's just been a big glut of people coming and wanting to open up restaurants. Example, when La Tosca closed, it was closed for a long time, and now we finally got a new one coming in. But we don't see a lot of new restaurants that want to come into this town, and probably a question for Jan.
Why?
Do you get a lot of requests for restaurants or people that are looking for restaurants? I'd love to have them. I think it's a great thing for the town. I think the towns around us have done that. They've built their downtowns on restaurants. Unfortunately, we don't have a downtown, so we're trying to do the best we can. And I think just saying no because a business wants gambling or liquor, I think it's got to be a case-by-case basis. We got to look at those. And I agree with Al. I think we should look at it as a board and as a team with economic development. That's my comment. I do have one question for Director Vasquez. You were talking about now they're going to rebid Michigan from Park to Madison. Is that going to? You think that will go yet this year?
Well, it's a bid, not a rebid. We have never bid.
Right, but do you think that construction will start this year?
It won't start, no. It
No.
would be bid this year for construction next year,
Okay.
most likely. I mean, we might get something done this year, but at this point, it probably would make sense, just to get the contract awarded, suspend it, and then start up when weather breaks.
Okay, that's it. Thank you.
All right.
That's all I got.
Yeah, thank you. Trustee Wagner.
Thank you, Madam President.
Hi.
I guess I'll just start off by saying I appreciated the frank discussion that
Yeah, this
was
is good.
engaged in here. I personally don't care for gambling. I don't like it. But I don't have a lot of people complaining about it to me. But
Well, lucky.
I see your point that it could harm other businesses, and I don't know. I appreciate the discussion. I think it was good for the board to hear it, and probably for the staff to hear it as well.
I've heard it before.
Just a couple things. I wanted to mention that the Park Art Center is going to have a new exhibition, which is coming October 7th. They're going to have a reception from 6 to 8 p.m. The name of the artist is Jason Schuckhart. He's from Lombard. And the name of his show is called Innuendo. And if you haven't been to the Park Art Center, it's a great place to visit. And if you go to the reception, make sure to leave a donation. It's, they don't exist without funds. So, and I was pleased to see in the report that staff is working with the Park Art Center to possibly have some signage for them. I think that's a great idea. Wanted to mention that the Environmental Concerns Commission and the Traffic and Safety Commission are both looking for new commissioners. So if folks are interested in serving on those commissions, a description of the commissions is on the village website, and you can also download a application for those commissions. And I noticed that the St. A's Knights of Columbus is going to be holding a all-you-can-eat breakfast on Sunday, October 9th, from 7:30 a.m. till noon. And lastly, since we're talking about elections, the last day to register is Tuesday, October 11th.
Got it.
And if folks have to, if they've moved and they want to transfer their registration or register to vote, you can go to the library. They normally have a voter registrar on duty from 9 to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday.
That's for the November election.
For the November election, yeah. And I think we all agree it's going to be a very important election, like all elections are. So
Not the
that's all
only
I have
one.
to say.
It's not the only one. Trustee Wagner, what time is the reception on October 7th?
I'm sorry, the reception is from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
6 to 8, okay. Thank you, I didn't catch that before. Okay.
And that's all I have.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, Trustee Allo.
Sure. I'll give my 2 bits on this whole development problem. Not a problem.
Not a problem.
Here's, alcohol obviously can be a major problem. 3 o'clock in the morning, you're out in someone else's boat and you kill yourself, you're a 24-year-old pitcher. You can leave a wife that's 24 and pregnant and no dad anymore, so alcohol can obviously be a very bad thing. Gambling, not quite as obvious. Can cause equal problems. Maybe not quite death, but just as equally disturbing to the people that are involved that are dependent on the person that has the gambling problem. At the same time, I don't totally disagree with you in regard to, we've got a bar going in on Villa Avenue, or a restaurant.
Both.
So you kind of want to be a little careful on oversaturating your market. And at the same time, the other half of me thinks, okay, that's the market. Let the market take care of the market. If someone puts $500,000 into a building or $250,000 into a building and they don't make it, well then,
that's on them for making a bad decision. I think it would help everybody in town, though, for staff and for us and yourself, to make sure when things like this do come in, that everyone becomes aware of it. Because that generates some excitement. When I heard that there was 3 places that were looking to you for liquor licenses, you know, the fact that we didn't hear from you on that, all right, I don't totally disagree with Al. You know, I've always heard from you, actually, that you used to be upset with Cullerton because he wouldn't necessarily clue you in on what he was doing. So, yeah, that doesn't bother me a whole lot. But not, you know, it's, I guess, a fair criticism to suggest that you should keep us informed. But I think it's better for us to be informed, even if your answer is, hey, look, here's 3 things that are coming in. I ain't doing it anyway. You guys can do whatever you want, but tell us about it, because when I heard about those 3 things, it was like, wow, those 3 guys looking for this spot, one guy looking for that spot, guy going up on North Avenue. That's awesome. And I'd like to know from Jan, what comes in typically to you when a developer or an investor or a business owner comes in and they're looking for space down Ardmore Avenue, down Villa Avenue, and up and down St. Charles Road, and Roosevelt and North Avenue. When the typical business people that are coming into you in those areas, what are they looking for? What are they looking to do?
Yeah, come on up.
I mean, I would have guessed there's probably a typical trend.
Hi. There is a variety of businesses that are looking to come into Villa Park. Obviously, the only time that it involves the village president is when it's liquor. We had a meeting today with another developer that came in from Kentucky that didn't involve the president at this point because it's very, very preliminary. We want to make sure everything works for them. But for the most part, along North Avenue, there's a lot of auto industry. Used car lots is probably number 1. You know, the village still has their property for sale, and that's what the number 1 call is. A lot of times, the brokers are calling me looking for spaces for their tenants. It's a whole variety of uses. The other one that Trustee Bufus mentioned on Villa Avenue near North was going to be a smoothie place, and they wanted to be able to have liquor to put in the smoothies.
And I'm still, we've missed each other, so I haven't even talked to him yet about this.
I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, so that conversation hasn't even been had yet.
Okay, so
but
maybe.
It's imminent, so
The
we'll find
interesting
out.
thing is quite often when there's food, they want liquor. So the sports bar we thought actually was going to be a good fit for the Jewel because it's kind of an underperforming center, so to bring some vibrancy to the area we thought would help. And I guess I'm concerned if those uses aren't good, what would be the good, especially addressing parking, because any business is going to bring parking, you know, cars that are going to park. So I guess I would reach out sometimes maybe to the board to see what recommendations they have for those areas if the things we're bringing aren't a good fit. So it's kind of a chicken and egg. You know, what does the village want? Village wants restaurants, but the restaurants want liquor. So it's going to have to work out. And I understand I've talked with the village president. If it's a large sit-down restaurant, liquor would be acceptable.
Yeah. Dine in, sit down. That's what the residents say they
However,
want.
it's not your typical restaurant location that is coming to Villa Park. It's more of these specialty, you know, the sports bars and the specialty smoothies and, you know, like manuals with sandwiches. So I was excited because that would be a sandwich shop. Because, I mean, we all know we're here in Village Hall and we want to grab a sandwich. Where do you go? So if you could run across to the, you know,
Mickey's.
Yeah, we've
Closed
had
at 8:30.
awesome
Look at what time it
restaurants.
is.
Yeah.
You guys wouldn't stop.
Awesome restaurants.
So it's great. You know, we put the information up on the village website as far as available properties listing, and then when people call and looking for a certain size, we can kind of do this match with them. So it's a variety, Chris.
How about down the Ardmore Strip and down the Villa Strip? What do you get calls on there? Is there a demographic, business demographic that is looking
Villa
there?
is kind of taking care of itself, you know, because we have the TIF. I've literally gone door to door, talking with every single business owner, trying to understand if they're going to stay there long term, if they plan to leave. We talked with business owners whose buildings were dilapidated. We made them, through code enforcement, take care of them. So it is trying to find a good fit. When we had business come in on Villa Avenue that wasn't a good fit, luckily we found them one that was, in effort to keep kind of the Villa Avenue area between the Prairie Path and St. Charles Road. Some people are referring it more to like an entertainment area, a little more of a food destination, because restaurants usually thrive if there's other things to go in the area. So, you've got that captive audience with Ovaltine, so people can come right from Ovaltine and have, happy hour, but then they kind of bounce around. So the fact that there's businesses that can kind of help, cross-market each other and promote each other seem to be a good fit.
Okay, so I appreciate what we want, and I appreciate everything you just told me, but it doesn't seem like you told me what's the demographic that's talking to you, the business demographic. Is there anything in particular that you see more of that's looking down Ardmore Avenue, down Villa Avenue?
Nothing in particular.
Okay, all right.
No.
Fair enough.
Just North Avenue cars.
Yeah, cars, that makes sense. Well, automotive, that fits with we serve the rest of the communities around us, so. Okay, thank you. So, so the bar and tavern thing, I don't know that I necessarily would disagree with you because of the one that's going up on Villa right now. I'd like to see that one get its footing before you do another one right away. But at least I would have liked to have given you my opinion, my thoughts, had the information so that I could let other people know, hey, there's some exciting things going on. And I think that would have, in general, I think that it helps to get the information out there. Even if you end up saying, hey, I don't care what you guys think, I still got to take the lead as village liquor commissioner, and I'm not saying yes to that.
And president too. Sometimes that happens too. Yes.
And village president. Or as village president.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. We're done. No, not now. We can talk afterwards, though. No, not at this point. Yeah. Moving on though to village manager's report. Yeah, we're in the village trustees report now. So moving into the village manager's report.
Your Honor,
anything?
I'm going to pass this evening, try to get to the presidential debate.
Oh boy, what time is it?
Was there a meeting on Thursday night, a town hall thing on the taxes?
It's coming up this Thursday.
29th.
There's going to be one.
Yes.
Yeah, good point.
Yes.
Is that here?
Let's clarify that then, yes.
Where's that
We're still going to have that?
ICC at 6:30.
ICC, which is...
Iowa Community Center.
Yeah.
6:30 on Thursday, the 29th.
What are we doing there? What are we talking about? Ice cream social?
No, not quite. The sales tax referendum.
Referendum, okay.
That the board brought forward, so.
Okay.
Does the manager want to, since it's come up, do you want to say a quick something about
Sure. Our next meeting to discuss the sales tax referendum question, which will be on the ballot in early November, will be this Thursday at 6:30 at the Iowa Community Center. So it'll be 45 minutes or less. Last meeting was very close to 25 minutes, so it'll be a quick PowerPoint presentation to describe what the funds would be used for and some benefits of its approval. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, great. And that's the second of how many more do you think we'll have?
Maybe two more.
Two more? Okay. All right, great. Thank you for that. Okay. Item number 11, village attorney's report.
No report.
No report. Okay, then we're going to skip over exec sessions. It's not going to be an exec. Then the next thing on the agenda is adjournment. Do we have a motion for adjournment?
Madam President,
Trustee Wagner.
I'd like to move that we adjourn.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, Trustee Bolfus. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're adjourned.
Excellent.
Our next meeting will be on Monday, October 10th, 7:30 here at Village Hall. Hope to see you here. Thank you.
See you. Good night.
See you later.
Good night.